details of the distances around you and in your periphery, the small amount of details that you were able to make out, that there is a bit of a tightness around it, as if something is cleaning ahead, as if it is bowing around you ever so slightly. What would you like to do?
How long have we been traveling?
Hours. At this point, this conversation doesn't take long, but you travel until you literally cannot walk anymore, that you are so exhausted. And if you continue to walk for 6, 8, 12 hours, there'll be a point in which you can't move anymore, and it's hard to tell just how much of it you've put behind you. You need to rest.
You need to take a short little break.
Really?
We're all in as good a shape as you, old man.
Our hips are still bone.
Do you want to keep going?
You should get your executive chef to make you a more balanced diet.
How did you make it this far alone?
I wasn't alone. I mean, I sent my people away. I chose to stay here.
Why didn't you run away in one of your private jets like everybody else?
Because, I don't know. It was a moment of weakness.
As you're resting and taking this space together, where did you find, by the way? Where did you stop? Are you still like just in the middle of the field? Or are you trying to find like some actual shelter?
I would
Are there
say
any-
maybe like houses off the road.
Yeah.
Any old shacks or anything like that?
Would you like to find some shelter?
I would like to find some shelter.
Give me shelter.
Great.
Got 1. 2.
2.
Yay. No ones.
Awesome.
Nice.
Danny, tell me what kind of shelter you find.
Right off the, a bit off the freeway or highway, I would say there's a nice little farmhouse.
Farmhouse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we in an area where that would?
You ran
make
in
sense?
through the fields, so you ran into the fields. But really, this is your time to take control. So if
Okay.
you'd like it to be a farmhouse, it can be a farmhouse.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
nice farmhouse. Obviously, the wildlife has run off or been set free, or
The
taken.
animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got it.
Well, not wildlife technically, yeah, but any animals at the farm. And being a farm, there's a nice little garden
Cool.
that hasn't been tended to in a few days, but I think we could forage and scavenge for a few fresh veggies.
Great. How's the interior looking? I'd assume it's pretty, if not ransacked.
Yeah,
It's
definitely
definitely
ransacked.
abandoned. So,
Abandoned first, people running, grabbing whatever they could before they ran away, and then it's a little like squatters had been there at
Sure.
some point in the past few days, but they moved on.
and you can tell this because someone has literally put a tiny campfire inside of the living room with the windows open. You can actually see the remnants of a small fire that's in the center of the living room at this point. And but otherwise, the farmhouse is, besides not having anything in the cabinets or the cupboards, you're able to scrounge up enough fresh eats to be able to at least have something.
Those of us without executive chefs have learned to make do. Again, vegetables.
Then you kind of prepare what you can. So,
This
Yeah.
reminds me of one of my pied-à-terres in Okinawa. We had a fireplace in the front room as well.
A Peter what?
Pied-à-terre.
Just nod and smile, Rebecca. Sounds fascinating, Mr. Randolph.
sorry, you cooking a small meal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, if they could get the fire started, I'm gonna just run through the house real quickly and see if there's any coats
Cool.
or like a portable phone charger that maybe somebody charged.
If you want to find the phone charger, I'll make that a conflict. But I will tell you that there is definitely, you do find some warm. It is getting colder, absolutely. And at the very least, you find Mr. Randolph some fresh, unsoaked pants at this point. Something dry that they can change into
Something clean for the little one.
something clean.
And warm, yeah.
There wasn't a child in this home that you can tell, but there is definitely enough cloth, even if it's just bed sheets at this point, that you could cut and wrap and put together.
Well, before then, I think I'm trying to teach Millie how to make a fire
Oh,
to distract her.
okay.
I've also given her my airline blanket, which I've been wearing as a cloak, because her shaking was very distracting, and I
Yeah.
think she wasn't paying attention properly.
Well, there you go. You put this this very thin woolen blanket over her, and she seems. I know I did Girl Scouts. I remember how to make a fire,
Oh,
but
good. All right, so you do have some utility.
I'd like to help, though.
All right, show me how you do it.
You kind of watch as her trembling hands kind of like put together the wood as she just kind of like goes through the process of trying to take the little amount of like dexterity that she has right now, and she's just running the bow that you made for her to kind of try to get this across. And you'll kind of watch her struggle with it for a while as she just can't get up enough speed, and she fumbles and drops it several times, but she still continues to pick it up and continue to try.
You've got it. You've got it.
Try again. And, during this time, Danny, you look around and you see absolutely a couple of phone chargers, but none of them are the same port that you kind of have at this point. It's a farmhouse at this stage, so you do find a couple of cables. In fact, I would go so far as to say you found the right cable, but at this point, a source of power would be the next thing that you would need. So you have a charger. Now it's just about finding the juice.
Right.
This
I'm
point.
I'm looking for like a portable charger that still has juice, because obviously there's no electricity, nor is there sunlight to charge a solar.
Right. So in that circumstances, then,
No iPods.
Mr. Randolph, you and Millie, it takes some time, but she does finally, like, get a tiny, tiny bit of smoke. And she goes, okay, now I don't know what to do.
Okay. Keep your hands around it. Make sure
Okay.
the wind won't stop it.
Okay,
All right,
okay.
Now you need to put some brush in there. Here you go. Take some of this.
Okay, she's kind of
Don't not too much.
Okay,
Don't
okay.
you put it out.
All right.
Okay. Good. See, it's catching.
Yeah, it's more
Yeah?
smoke. It's just smoke, though. It's just smoke.
Oh, just blow on it a
It's the
bit.
smoke gonna...
on, blow on it a bit.
okay.
There you go. See.
She gets a little bit nervous, but she blows in a little more, and just
right.
goes like right up. And then it goes, and then you see for a moment, her eyes get wide and goes, "Oh God, are they gonna find us if we have a light in here? Should we?" And she kind of like goes around and starts like trying to.
Hey,
like,
stop.
Okay.
You did a good job.
Yeah.
So now you get your reward. And I reach into my pocket and pull out a single butterscotch candy that I give to her.
And she puts it to her mouth,
You should unwrap it first.
and
If
then
you ever had candy before, ugh, you idiot.
Stupid old man. And she like pockets it instead. Like she clearly saves it. Like she wants to eat it, but she puts it away first.
I walk by and I tap her and I say, "He is a stupid old man, isn't he?"
I can hear you.
I know.
It's okay. She kind of she said stupid old man, but she's smiling at you. So
What a nice fire! And I come back in with my mishmash stew.
oh, awesome.
So
And
good.
you plap it down. There's a grate. You basically took the grate out of the oven and used that to put over the fire and just stick your pot of water on it. And there is soup.
I walk up behind him,
Yeah.
having seen this last little exchange, and say,
You didn't really see this because you were upstairs looking for that charger. You saw that she made the fire.
The
though.
end. I
So-
wouldn't have seen the end
The
of
butterscotch?
the exchange.
When would you like to come down? At what moment in
at-
that?
When he hands her the butterscotch.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. You're like, oh, he does have a heart.
And now you get to go find a charger.
Oh,
You get to go find
Nike.
some power.
Let's see.
Kill us all.
Oh my gosh. No sixes.
And that is the end of our scene.
And there's... Oh, wait, it doesn't count that one because it's scene ending.
Yep.
Don't forget you have your stuff. Virtues and vices.
So, as it happens, you do start looking around. So you break from the group and you take your candle. As you begin to look around, you do find a shelter. Or, I'm sorry, what do I mean by shelter? You do find a cellar. That was the word I was looking for. You do find that there is a cellar that's in the room somewhere, and you do notice that the door is ajar as you kind of step down with your light, and you begin to look around. And you do notice as you're kind of looking through, and you see a lot of it's just, shelves pulled down, stuff picked up everywhere. There is a small, gas generator, one of the little Honda putt-putts that you see in a lot of the situations. You shake it, and there doesn't seem to be any gas inside of it. But that's also when you hear movement in the room with you. And the click of a pistol being pulled back. With that, and this, we will move on to the next. Let's establish some truths. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 to work with. Beginning with you, Danny. What is a truth? First, the world is dark.
My life is in immediate danger.
That is true. Is that what
Better
you
truth?
Okay, I guess that's
No,
true.
did you want a better truth?
No, that's your truth. Absolutely.
The person in the cellar is not alone.
Okay.
I didn't hear anything in the cellar.
Great.
One of the people in the cellar is related to Millie.
Great. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Truth that I don't know is that the gun only has one bullet.
The gun only has one bullet. That is a truth. And 7.
That little putt-putt generator works.
Great. Then we will begin the session starting with 7. I have 3 now to work with. And what would you like to do?
I will slowly turn around towards the noise.
So as you turn, you unsurprisingly see the gun of a barrel, the barrel of a gun, staring right back at you, and you see a man in what appears to be a torn raincoat that is thrown over him, and it's covering, shrouding his face. And he's got, like a woolen undercoat under him, and he has the gun laid out, but he also seems to be holding his side as he goes and stares at you. And you can see, or more than see, because it is pitch black in there, you can hear the sound of several other footsteps. What are you doing here?
Hello, friend. I am seeking shelter, as I'm sure you are. Are you hurt?
Sit down. He motions over towards where the steps are. Goes, how I feel is not your concern. Did you come here to take the food or the generator?
We came here for shelter, and we did manage to find some food in the garden. Are you hungry?
Yeah, of course, we're all hungry.
Who is all of us?
And you kind of hear a pause for a moment. It goes, doesn't matter. You said there's food in the garden?
Is this your home?
Yes, it is our home. We live here. Get out of our home. Please.
Gladly. Can you please remove your gun from my face?
He watches, he kind of like puts it down for a second, but puts it back up. Only when you walk out the front door. Don't want to hurt you. I just don't want you here.
Okay. Did you just not want to share the empty generator?
No, it's not about the generator. We just want to be together. We don't want other people here. We don't want you here. We just want to be together.
Okay. I'll go upstairs and gather my belongings.
All right, so you kind of step up slowly as he's behind you. You can kind of feel that he doesn't have the gun like back to the back of your head, but you do distinctly hear the sound of the floorboards creaking again as it seems more bodies are ascending up the stairs with you. You hear that Danny is basically coming back up through the cellar. And
How'd it go there?
Hey. So, I met the proprietors of the house.
and you watch as like the two people stand behind him, and this is just hearing you like declare what it is you watch as the other people, and you see other ones just kind of stepping up around, and they all look startled. He goes, and you hear, how many? Will any one of you move, and she dies. Just put all of you stand up and put your hands in the air.
Wait a minute, friend. We can talk about this.
We can talk about you leaving this house right now.
And I told you we would leave. There's no need to cause a ruckus.
Is
Okay.
this your house?
Yes, this is our house.
If you show me a deed, I'll gladly leave.
Mr. Randolph,
Shut up.
I'm
old
sure
man.
we
Man's home
can
is his
find...
castle. We should respect it. If it is, in fact, your house.
It's our house, old man. You don't belong here. So just take your things and go out and find your own place to die.
What about this child with us?
And you watch as like this, as Millie kind of puts her head up, and you hear a small, and you watch as one of the people who are right next to the gun holder at the moment goes, Millie, and you watch as she just crumples down onto the floor, and you hear Millie go, Auntie? Jess? Auntie? And you kind of see a moment as they're embracing, as they're hugging it out. But Millie, if you look at her, you can see she's delighted, but also slightly scared. Like it's mixed emotions, kind of what she's dealing with right now, as Auntie Jess is just holding on to her as tight as she possibly can. I'm so sorry. Where? Oh. And they're just bawling into each other. Okay, the girl can stay with us, and you four can go.
Well, now. Wait. Will she be safe with you?
She's with her family. That's enough. That should be enough, right?
But you said you're here to die.
Doesn't matter what I say. What matters is that the four of you leave this house right now.
I'd like to say, Millie, is your auntie one of the people that left you out there to die?
You can kind of watch as Millie like looks towards you, and she doesn't answer.
How many people do I see in the room?
There's three.
Can I read anything on Millie's face? What do I understand from her look? Yeah, thank you.
What do you understand indeed?
2?
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. What do you read from her?
That, these are the people that left her there to die. Or at least the aunt was one of them.
What do you want to do?
I put myself in between the gun, and I guess it's still pointed at Danny.
Yeah.
I put myself in between the gun and Danny, and I lower my hands, and you can see I'm starting to get hot. And I start walking right towards the gun.
Oof. All right, that's dire.
Yeah.
You do this, and it does not fail. If it does fail, it's going to be bad. I'm just warning you now.
The intention here is
To bluff him out?
no.
No.
The intention here is to attack and disarm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Survey says I got none, but I want to burn my vice.
Short temper.
Yep, that's going to come into play right now.
You can re-roll them all but once.
All but once. What do we get? 2?
No, you got 1. I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Assume same deal as last
Same
time.
deal as last time.
So as I start to approach,
You actually, if you want, we can escalate this. If you'd like, her hand starts to shake as, she checks to see if the trigger is pulled back, and it already is. And she goes, "Don't move. Don't. I will use this."
I say, "Did you leave that child in the woods to die?" Got one.
I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything other than what needed. And it wasn't mine. It's not my kid. And at this point, Yo will let you take over narration.
Sure. So,
It's not even my kid.
I lunge and I grab the gun
Yeah.
and I look at the gun and I look at the kid and I just start shooting.
You pull the trigger once.
And it goes bang, click,
Click. Click. So the first shot goes
But
off.
I'm still clicking.
Yeah.
Something inside is
You just keep going. So the first shot goes off with a loud just crack as it goes off, and you watch as you shoot through the throat of the person who had the gun in front of you, and you see as a spray of blood just like languishes all of the family portraits that are laid out behind in this hallway leading up from the cellar.
Yeah.
And it gurgles as they drop to the floor, and the aunt and the other two just scream as one of them goes down to try to hold the other one, and you watch as the aunt just picks up Millie and makes us run straight for the door.
I run.
I'm
Run.
going after her too, yeah.
Yeah. So both of you just run straight towards Millie, and you're running through the darkness with everything you can. And as you continue to see, and you can just seal the hint of Millie's socks, the little bit of white that is right on her shoes, and you can just watch as she's just like the feet just dangling as you feel the wave whoom, of this force just pull right next to you, and you can see it laid out in front, the black onyx shape.
I lunge for Millie.
Go get him, Tiger.
My knee isn't what it used to be, but I stay in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
Right. Take narrative control. Tell me what happens.
And one shoe comes off in my hand, but I grab with the other arm, and emotional, just weeping as I grab after Millie, and I get her, but I don't get the woman carrying her.
Yeah, you pull her down. You basically take a hold of this little girl's legs, and all three of you tumble down into the plains together, and you grab her and you pull her as quick as you can. But the woman tumbles. She just takes a couple of somersaults, and you just hear as a black shape just snaps her right up, and you watch as it slips into this black onyx sheen in front of you, and you can feel the pull, just the hard. It's almost as if you were standing on a precipice, and that feeling of just gravity just so close to you, it beckons you to go forward. What do you do?
I try to run the other way.
You run.
I'm right behind her, so I'm gonna start yanking them because I feel it too, yanking them back away from the pull.
As you are so close to it at this stage, you can feel just the weight, as if someone has the back of your neck and is just pulling you as hard as it can through, and you can feel the vibration, almost like it's just a subtle momentum building as this thing creeps foot by foot closer to you, and you pull with all of your might. Danny, just
I lean on you.
go, just like literally pull against it. It's almost like running through water at this stage as you're moving
Yeah.
through.
That
And
too.
you got one. So take narration control.
one.
Tell me how you managed to get through this weight, as like literally like it's like you're running through a pool waist deep in water.
So I do that thing that happens in a nightmare where you want to run,
Yeah.
but you can't. And I'm running towards them, and they're running back towards me. And I just wrap my arms around both of them, and with everything inside of me, I pull back. And good thing is that I was a rower, which is why I had, stamina. Last couple of years,
You just
really.
spool those muscles.
Yeah.
As much
So
as you can.
I just pull back, like I dig my heels deep into the ground, which is a little moist.
Yeah.
So it gives me a little more
Grip.
and I just yank as hard as I can.
And as you pull and you yank, you feel this moment in which you are being pulled, and then suddenly the tension feels less until finally there's no weight on you at all, and you slowly, but now with a quickened pace, trudge away from it as the grip of whatever it had is released upon you, and you run with all of your might straight back into the farmhouse. You can see as both of you are basically with this weeping individual. Depending on you, you might still be holding the gun at this point, just in your trance.
There was still another person in the room.
Yeah, they're literally like crying over the person you just shot right now.
Yeah,
So,
it's a quick gun butt to the back of the head to knock them out. That's what I would have done.
great. Yeah.
Teddy, so purposeful. Where was this earlier?
Shut up.
These two.
Run in and yell, "It's time to move. It's here. It's right on our heels. Go."
Yeah, leaving both of them there. The dead one and the not dead one.
Glance at that as we run by out the back door, and we'll
will.
just deal with that later.
You go out through the house and you continue to move.
As we're leaving, I want to say to the one that was crying, I say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take this from you, but the experience should be what you wanted either way.
Well, they don't respond because they're unconscious.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was the one who was,
Well,
oh yeah,
it
you
was.
all right.
Bop them.
Yeah, but it is a sentiment
Still a
nevertheless.
good-
yeah.
So,
Good message.
as you make your way, as you basically clear the distance between you and the farmhouse, you can start to hear the groaning and the creaking of wood and metal as you can feel as if someone is just wrenching wood and metal, just splintering as you continue to climb in through the woods.
Take Millie piggyback for a while until I get tired.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna walk backwards for a minute to try and figure out if there's another way we can go. It's coming this way, to see if we can like diagonal.
Well, you mean at this point, if you want to get
There you
perspective
go.
on where it is, just it is so close at this point that if you look to the left and the right, you can still kind of see that bubble, boom, that's slightly in front. So where if you were to look, it's almost like a little bit of a spherical arch where you can kind of see it's kind of bending towards you like an eclipse. It's not a drastic angle, but it is enough to where if you cut an angle, if you cut a diagonal, you would, and not running directly away from it. I mean, it is, as far as you understand, it is as far as you can see this way, and as far as you can see this way. So you run.
Yeah. I'll trade off with
How
Rebecca
high,
too,
how
the
high
kid.
does it extend?
We'll go back and forth.
Directly above you.
As far as the eye can see? Okay.
I mean, as far as you can see in the pitch black of night.
So
There is
higher
a-
ground will be of no help to us.
There is stars, and then there is no stars,
Yeah.
is what you see in the horizon above you. And behind you, there is nothing. Oh, that's actually a very... Now I just got the full image of it. It's literally like looking at a black canvas of nothing Like when you look in front of you in the dark, you can always make out small shapes and little things here and there. But when you look behind you, it is as if you were staring into the void, like a blank canvas of nothing.
I commissioned an artist to design a pigment that reminds me of this.
That was you, huh?
A deep, deep black.
Yes.
An artist, huh?
You are exhausted. You've been running for hours or moving for hours.
We
This-
better find another place to rest.
I don't. Can we?
That thing's moving pretty quick now.
It is behind you. It is.
We can't stop.
So, if you want to keep going at this point, then I think it's appropriate for Randolph to see how his stamina is doing.
I mean, I've been doing a very good job of hiding it, but yeah, I'm
Let's
not
see.
great. And when I fell earlier, I was injured. So, there we go. Not
Hot
bad.
dice.
Why don't you give us a tiny preview of just how you're doing, but still keeping it up?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm limping a little bit. I seem to be favoring one side, the side that I didn't fall on. But I have the candle in our in the shade that you made together, and I'm moving along with purpose.
Great.
And I'm humming a tune to myself. And
yeah,
I
a tune.
occasionally look back and see if anybody wants to join in, but it's a song so old that no one here knows it.
It's oddly soothing.
Well. Deadpan.
Yeah.
So as you continue to traverse forward, something happens. And it's basically, as you look in front of you, you've been in the wilderness for a while. And as you continue to move forward, you start to notice that concrete is now becoming part of your landscape again. As you basically cross like a small 2-lane highway. And then you have a little more fertile topography in front of you. But now you're starting to encounter city blocks, whole city blocks of small town, who knows? Basically, there's main streets now with roads that go in opposite directions, some that literally are going back towards where it is, and some that go to either the left or the right. But there are now large blocks of buildings that you'll have to navigate, some directly and some through alleyways.
On the city streets, I'm going to be on the lookout for bicycles
Yeah.
to help us get a little more distance.
I've also got a theory about how quickly this thing is moving. Maybe it slows down when it needs to absorb things. So being in a more densely populated or densely built up area, I mean, it'll slow us down, but it might slow it down. And we have intelligence. So
That we do.
Let's see
it
about the
does
bikes.
not.
One.
1. So take over some control from me. Danny, what did you find?
Well, unfortunately, there's a lot of carnage, obviously, in the streets. But as we pass through alleyways and side streets, I'm looking and actually finding a couple of abandoned bicycles here and there.
Yeah.
They're not in the best shape, but they could get us moving a little more quickly. Start with a couple and then
A couple.
find
How many?
2.
Okay.
And then as we go on a little longer, obviously they still have to keep up with the other 2, but then we find a couple more.
So you find enough for everybody.
Yeah.
So as some time goes by, you're able to pick up an occasional bike here and there. And now all of you, Millie excluded, it sounds like.
She can ride on my back
Yeah.
as we go.
Yeah. You basically find bikes and you start pedaling through the streets. Yeah. You all know how to ride bikes, right?
Yeah.
It's been a while.
What you do.
Picture you on one of those old giant wheel, tiny wheel bikes here.
A penny. Those are called penny farthings. No. But I do have a young girl's bicycle.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm a slight man myself, so
Sure.
it's not uncomfortable.
And you
I
don't
quite
mind riding a Huffy.
No, I quite like it. This is nice.
beach cruiser in the city.
This is bringing me memories of my childhood.
So the fun part about having a bike and being able to go faster is that you still have a limited vision in front of you of just how much light you can see. So it's a little terse at times, but you do manage to find on occasion a clear enough street to where you can bicycle, but you're all on hyper alert, always making sure that you're looking right in front of you so that you don't accidentally run right into a parked car,
Yeah.
you know, or the side of a building or anything else that could be right in front of you. So while you do pick up the pace, so to speak, it is also not as quick as you would like just because of sheer visibility.
Not a straight shot.
Yeah. Yeah, that takes you through at least the first part. As you continue to move forward, you also start to hear, well, let me think. No, the bikes do you good. They take you a while. They take you through most of the city even. You even have to go around some large buildings. In fact, there is a point in which you would have to go around a large warehouse. Yeah. I'm trying
Any
to...
of these your buildings, JP?
Ugh, these are just warehouses. None of these are memorable. But possibly. I mean, if you're a billionaire, if you can count your money, then you're not a billionaire.
Must be nice.
Do you have buildings in this city?
Oh, yes. Most cities.
Do you have any, like, doomsday preparations in any of these buildings? I know sometimes billionaires can be eccentric.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, honestly, I can't remember.
Okay.
But it sounds like something I would do.
All
Well,
right.
do you want to find a thing, or would you like to literally go through the rest of the town trying to get as much away from it as possible?
I feel like that's the more prudent course of action.
I'd agree.
I mean, it's not going to matter if we're
Absolutely.
underground.
No, I'm just worried about getting a little more food for us. That's all. And we don't really have time to search.
Well, then let's do this. You've been riding through most of the time, and if you've looked at your watch at this point, you have been up a full 36 hours at this stage with very little
Dragging a bit.
dragging and very little honest to God food in which to eat by. So,
I'm still thinking of that stew we left.
well, that's true. The stew was probably the reason you're still going at this point. There's good calories. So, but the amount of sleep you've had is next to nothing. The exhaustion is starting to absolutely set in. So, if you continue to bike through the city, we'll continue to make pace. At this stage, you don't know how big the city is. So you do ride for a while. And I would say about 1 or 2 hours past your 36-hour point, you can start to hear the gentle hum of voices somewhere in the distance to directly in front of you. In fact, you can actually see a small glow of orange fire, like someone lit a giant bonfire in the middle of the square, and you can see that light permeating in the middle of what was once, just based on the details that you can see around it, like a large football field.
I need to rest.
Yeah.
Maybe whoever made that fire has some food.
I mean, it's risky. Last people we ran into were nut jobs. But
Maybe we can just rest right outside the perimeter of the fire. Find a little corner to tuck into.
guess
Take
we'll
shifts.
set up watch, yeah.
Yeah, get an hour at a time, maybe.
I'd prefer to avoid anybody else we don't know, especially large numbers of people we don't know.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay.
So you like to try to stay hidden on the peripheral of the fire. Who's doing first watch?
I'll take it.
First watch.
Nada. You got some... Oh, nope, doesn't matter.
Yep.
There you go.
That is the end of our scene. Let's establish some truths. The world is dark.
The people around the fire have more of the stakes and platforms with more children chained to them.
The people around the fire also have some food.
I have to rest.
I unfortunately am very tired and pull one of these every once in a while, one of those. But I don't quite know how long I go out for. It's that micro nap situation, like when you're driving for too long and you don't know how long you've been out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
So your watch is only really a half watch.
Yeah. Way more tired than I thought.
The people gathered around the fires are also drumming and playing music, which make it very difficult to sleep, except for the most exhausted.
I believe the last one's on you.
The people around the fire do not have guns, but they do have melee
They have weapons. So as we enter into this next scene, you get closer to the bonfire, just on the outskirts, and you can hear the drumming and the chanting, and you can hear they're basically singing. They sound so happy, joyous as they just drum through the night. And you look through again as you're sitting in this periphery, you can occasionally see that people are bound, like tied to stakes, as you can hold into it, and they're drumming around them, they're singing around them. Some people are moving, but it seems like everyone, to a certain degree, has bound themselves, whether consensually or not, into this circle, and they keep the beat going through the night. You dip out of occasion, and as
Does
you're...
it keep me awake or am I able to sleep?
What's that?
Does it keep me awake or am I able
You
to
are
sleep?
exhausted. You would sleep no matter what. You would fall right into it. And you are... the lullaby that you fall asleep to is a gentle chorus. Red Rover, send somebody over. And you'll hear it repeated over and over again. They'll change out names as you'll hear it over again. Red Rover, send Francis on over. Red Rover, send Sarah on over. And this chorus through the night continues to drum as you get the small amount of sleep you get. And you wake up through one of your brief naps. And at this point, you don't know how long you've been set to watch.
Yeah.
Because you haven't woken anybody up to do the next watch. So, but you are startled when you tip your head up and you hear a Red Rover, as you hear a voice very close to you, as you wake up and pop your eyes open and you see a man who is smiling with a long red vest on and a little bit of the hat, like
A mitre?
a mitre hat, and he lifts his bat up and clocks you right on the head. And that would be enough to wake all three of you up, I would think. Yes. And you watch as you see literally this man who is now over Ted. He had taken a baseball bat and just whacked him across the side of the head and goes, "Oh, more! Come on over." As he starts walking towards each one of you, he grabs, I would probably think, who would you want to grab first? He'll run over and probably grab Mr. Randolph.
Do you know who I am? I'm J.P. Randolph.
Well, come on over,
Randolph
Mr. Randolph.
Utilities?
And
Randolph Petroleum?
it's nice to meet you, Randolph. Come on over.
No, Mr. Randolph.
Mr. Randolph.
I am going to take that little shard of rock that
Yeah.
I cut the bottle with, that I slipped into my pocket,
Yeah.
and stab him with it.
Am I out?
For the moment. Not for much longer, though. He hits you hard, but not so hard.
You want to burn some?
Burn practicality.
All right.
That sounds about right for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me how unpractical this is of you.
Well, I mean, it's a small shard of rock. He is a large man.
Yeah.
And obviously, I know there's people within earshot to possibly hear him scream, but that ruckus didn't let me sleep. I'm freezing cold. I am exhausted.
Yeah.
And he is threatening the little family that I have left.
So you're gonna just go at it recklessly.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
Two.
boy.
Give me that one and just tell me everything that happens, Danny.
Okay, so I am woken out of my fitful sleep. I see him smash Ted across the face, and then I see him grab Mr. Randolph, who may be obnoxious, but he's my obnoxious family member, and you don't get to manhandle him like that. So I just lose it for a second, and as I get up, I feel the shard in my pocket, and I pull it out, and I say, "Not today, you fucking crazy person." And then I just shove it right in his side, hoping that I'm hitting a vital organ.
Okay.
And I twist it.
Welts, it's almost like a muffled scream as you just twist, and he grabs your hand as you're just pushing the shard into it. It's,
And I just keep pushing.
he like grabs and he is hitting you like he's taking his fist and he's trying to like punch you off of him as you are like hands into him, continuing to just, and eventually he just as he's trying to like fall, like do everything he can to take you off, and he just crumples onto the ground and just goes still. His hand flops off to the side.
Pull my hand out.
You can't tell if it's your blood or his because it's a shard,
Right.
you know.
And then wipe
I don't
down
know
my
anything
Try
for
to
that.
wake you up.
pants. Of
You
course
do.
not.
She shakes you a little bit and you wake up.
What happened?
Crazy man hit you in the face with a bat, and then I stabbed him with a shard of rock.
Good work.
Thank you. And then I think twice, and I reach down and I make sure I grab the shard out of him.
It slides out with a weird wet sound as his body doesn't judder or doesn't jolt or move anything. You just adjust his fallen position, but you can see
Is he
that
dead?
I think so.
Can we tell if more people are coming?
you can
You should
see
make
that.
sure if he wakes up and screams, he'll call others.
Well, at that point, you do look over to the bonfire, and you can see that several heads have risen at this point, and they kind of seem to look like they're talking to each other. Even one of them starting to like talk to the other ones, as in looking over to that area. So
Well-
you have caused attention.
If for good measure, just in case he is still alive with my successes, can I just take the shard and slit his throat so he
I don't
doesn't
think you
wake
need
up?
to do anything.
Is he
other-
dead? Okay.
You slit his throat, and he doesn't even move. You just watches more blood
He's
just
dead.
gushes out from the
Millie,
underside of
don't
his
look.
neck.
Don't look
Are they
now.
looking at us?
They seem to be looking towards your directions. The little amount that you can see from the reflection, the silhouettes that are being created by the fire and the long shadows.
We have
Yes.
to go.
We've got one to send over.
Don't taunt them. What are you
Doing?
Give them a sacrifice. Buy us a little time.
You watch as a couple of them, having heard Randolph Card
would've
now,
killed him.
they look around. You can see as a couple of them are starting to want to run over, but they can't run over.
They are shackled.
They are all shackled. So you see as several of them are starting to get across, but now you look at some of them are trying to like fiddle with their manacles or maybe even untie a couple of their more consensual
Consenting brethren
brethren
and
yes.
sistren and otheren.
And whatever, as the point is, the thing is though, is that you do. It looks like, at least for the moment, no one's running directly at you.
Grab the bat.
Yeah.
Are you all right?
I'm still, my bell got rung pretty good. I don't have a ton to contribute plan wise, but yeah, I'll grab the bat.
Grab the bat.
We should get on the bikes and go.
Are you going to go through?
I'm not going to be able to carry Millie in this state.
How is Millie reacting to this stuff?
That's a good point. So Millie was dead asleep, and she's at this point even just now barely waking up. Like, you know, after everything that happened, with the stabbing and the screaming, she's now just starting to groggily. What? What?
Oh.
What happened?
Don't look. Don't look. Sorry.
Oh God, is this more? No, are we close to the light? Oh, it's fire.
It's a fire, sweetie.
Yeah, okay. Are they coming? Oh, are they coming over?
I think they're bad people.
I don't think they can. I don't think
Yeah.
they can. Let's go, Millie. Let's go.
Okay. Yeah. Are we gonna go through there?
I mean, you do want to stay with us, right? You don't.
No. I definitely want to stay with you. But are we gonna go through there, or through the fire?
Do we have to go that way? We can go around, right? It's a big city.
I don't know.
No.
Do you know these streets at all?
No.
We're gonna go around.
I was asking.
Okay.
I was asking
Let's
you.
start with that way.
Okay, we're gonna go around, right?
Yes,
Okay,
we're gonna
all
go
right.
around.
So as you get on the bikes and start to get through the football field, as you're kind of coming
Millie
around.
can hold on to my neck.
Yeah, she's kind of like sits on the spokes with you as you're kind of going around. You can kind of see that they are now starting to finally get their shackles unmanacled as they're running through, and you, because you've been out a while, you at that moment feel again the thrum, the vibration of the as you're coming around, as you're going through the round, you can feel as the field just hits you like a ton of bricks, and it pulls you and your bikes down. Because just the jolt, as if like a gust of wind just hit all of you at the same time, as it thum, falls back down again. And all of you kind of spill off of your bikes into the grass, as you can see, as the people who are running towards you stop, as if they feel it as well, too. What do you want to do?
You've chosen how you're going to end this. You should give us the same courtesy.
Yeah, you can. They hear you, but they're still just at this point so focused on it at the moment. They go back and goes, "Do you hear that?
Yes, of course.
Do you hear the singing? Do you hear?
Yes,
Come on.
yes. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Come over, come with us. Let us join."
No. It's giving us a different message.
Have somewhere to be.
They pay attention to you, but also they seem very much focused and distracted at this point. You can see a couple of them are still running over to you as if they want to, like, just embrace you. Again, they just seem completely content.
Did you say they had more kids?
That was a truth. So
Do they still have weapons? These ones running
that
into
is
us?
also a truth. They had weapons.
Okay,
so there is both children in the center of around the bonfire, and they do have weapons. Yes.
You cannot take what belongs to it.
I would like to do something.
Yeah.
I'm going to lean down to Millie
Yeah.
and kneel down to Millie and tell her that everything's going to be okay and these people are going to take care of you now.
Why is everything going to be okay? What are you going to do?
I'm just going to say just give Danny a hug for me, okay?
No. And she kind of grabs your wrist and go, no.
And
No.
I just
Where are
I just
you
grab her by the
going?
head
Now,
and I give her a little
Millie, you have to respect
kiss on
other
the head
people's
and I look at
choices.
them
No.
and I say,
It's not his. No.
get out of here.
You made her a promise.
And I grab the bat and I go right for the people that are coming at us to try to stop them.
Okay. Yes. So.
This is what you told us earlier.
So this is I know this is a martyrdom. Usually it's when a failure of a dire situation, but if you basically just want to end this scene right now with this martyrdom and you want to tell me what happens, we will end this scene, we will cut your candle, and we will move on right to the next thing. You can tell me exactly how this goes down.
Sure. Let's do it.
This is yours.
This is the last chance I get to save this girl,
Okay.
and I'm going to take it.
All right. Well, this scene ends and we begin anew, but you tell me exactly how you'd like this to happen.
So, I care about these people, but when I look at Millie, I see my own child, and there's just this ever so faint smile as I look at her, and I lean in to say something, but I don't. And I clutch the bat, and I look at everybody else, and I kind of give them a nod, and I go barreling towards the first people. And as they come, you know, there's 2-3 of them coming at once. They've got weapons. I get that, like, you know, like parents get that string, they rip a car door off
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
I just get the first guy, and it's whack, just clean, just
Right.
drops
Just falls
instantly.
down. Yeah.
And I come to the second guy, and he blocks, but get another shot in on him, and then more of the people start coming, and it's almost like a swarm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like for every one I get, there's another one on me, and
Yeah.
I'm rolling them off, but it's just after a while, it's just too much, and they just almost envelop me like.
And at this point, you can feel the pull of it
Yeah.
as it's becoming to calm down. And at this point, they